Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Proctor. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, these two teams hooking up for the second time this year. They first met back in October, week 7. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
Oh, looking for Waller, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Kaiser White. And the Chargers are going to have it here just past the 25.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And all the way down to the 29. A big play there for L.A. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Max Crosby make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Throwing on 2nd and long. Herbert flushed out right. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
A field goal gets them closer, but they say no thanks. We want the lead.
And Allen's got it. And down inside the 15 he goes.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Herbert.
The pass underneath. Here's Hines with it. And the Chargers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another 1st down.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate.
He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Nyheim Hines as time expires in the 1st half.
And the Chargers will extend their lead here just before halftime.
You knew time was going to run out, so this had to be in the end zone, and somehow they were able to find a window and get it done.
Very easy for us to talk about up here that, yes, all that had to happen, but when time's running down, sometimes your brain compresses a little bit too. They showed great poise, understanding of situation, making sure they got to...
You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So we have reached halftime. Intermission with the visiting Chargers on top. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this 3rd quarter of action. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3.
And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a 1st half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot. Pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the 2nd half.
They run it with Jacobs. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
To throw on 2nd down. Proctor throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Proctor.
He'll get this underneath to Jacobs.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. He's got the leg, but it's no good. He missed it right, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss.
And, oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. The CD, this offense at 11-0 now on the year. A few weeks ago, I remember asking you what kind of percentage chance that you thought they had at staying unbeaten the entire season. I think you said 25%. I'd imagine that number probably grown since then.
I would agree with you, and I'm going to actually bump it up to closer to 50%, only because they still have some tough games to come. And keeping that focus throughout the entire season, that's been a really difficult thing to pull off. But so far, they've done it, and they've done it well.
Dancing to his left. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. A contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. Touchdown! Keenan Allen. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And this Chargers offense continues to pour it on.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that will extend this big lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. It's a squibber picked up. Now a hit and a loose football. And picked up by the Chargers. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
As that ball got away from him and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2.
Herbert now. They'll roll him out right. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions, and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They'll come out in the pistol. Now it's Herbert. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Nyheim Hines with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And this Charger offense is running away with this one.
Brandon Staley telling his troops to stay out there and go for 2.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, But going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go.
They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And picked up by the Chargers. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
He's got McKinney complete to his tight end.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good. Soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another 1st down.
And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Herbert throwing again.
So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to pull.
Got a man, it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen with touchdown number 23 here on the year.
And the Chargers get another 3rd-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
And they'll have Herbert try and throw for it.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense.
Right? That's true. You've said that before.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive.
And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Getting set to go again here on offense, Keenan Allen marches back onto the field. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that a mid-game trade is going to happen, but good thought. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Good call there on 1st down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years and not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw taken in by Cook.
They can't tackle him. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
And I feel a little bit like a traitor as a former defender because that big man did not want to go down and refused to go down. If you're a defender and you don't get the right angle on a big tight end like him, he can run right through you like you're not even there, and he did a lot of that on that play. He's starting to fall into the category of not fair because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a 1st down there to the tight end.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's complete to Cook. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Herbert back to the air. Touchdown, Chargers. Will Dissly, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year.
And the Chargers add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. They'll look to throw, and this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
Personally, I'd rather see them kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You have some pretty ticked-off folks on the other sideline now.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
The Raiders on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun. Proctor, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here. And now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. On 1st and 10, Herbert looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete.
And the Chargers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Back to throw here, Herbert. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's the bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line.
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful.
Well, I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position. The Raiders now set to get the football back. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. 7 yards, the pickup there.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Quiddy Pay.
It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. To throw on 3rd down. Proctor, he's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Jacobs will score. Touchdown, Raiders. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
It certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
What's good on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. The Charger drive about to get going. From his own end zone, Herbert.
That went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
They are certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the 4th quarter.
And he gets this up just shy of the 15.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Sliding out of the pocket. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. To throw again on 2nd down. Herbert steps away to his left. He finds his man, complete. That's Ballard. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A big gain that time for the Chargers. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ballard. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens.
And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. A great play there with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 15 on the year.
And the Chargers are going to be moving on to 12-0 as they extend their lead further.
As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Back to throw. Proctor. Got a man. It's Darren Waller. They find some open field here. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Lutz with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return.
And he's going to be out of bounds here on the return at his own 2-yard line.
Only able to get it to the 2-yard line on his return. Not going to make a lot of friends on your team when you only get it that far.
The Charger drive about to get going. Out to his left. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet.
And now the red flag out on the field. We'll have a challenge forthcoming. And we'll get a moment here as they look this one over.
Yeah, remember now, the call on the field is what they'll stick with unless they have clear video evidence to the contrary. And I give these officials a lot of credit. Such a tough and demanding job. You and I both know that. Yeah, they make the right call way more often than they get it wrong.
So the challenge there not successful, and now they'll be left with only 1 timeout.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. Able to break the tackle, but then quickly brought down just outside of the 5. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
We'll take a break and get a report.
Oh, and now some space to operate. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A big pickup there on the scramble.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3 and out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a 1st down.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. The throw over the middle taken in.
And he'll be taken down after a gain of about 8, as that will lead us to the 2-minute warning.
So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
And, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
He stiff-arms him. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. With the late lead, Herbert's going to throw it. Over the middle, complete. It's Ballard. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
Normally we're talking about a quarterback duel where they're matching each other pass for pass. How about the footwork in this one? Both of these guys running the ball well.
Yeah, they've mixed in the run. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
They'll try and throw for it. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time. Let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you...
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Uchenna Nwosu able to record his 5th sack of the season. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Chargers, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Mile High to take on the Broncos.
Meanwhile, for Las Vegas,
the playoffs look to be out of reach now as they drop to 4-8. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns.